Good afternoon. Actually, it's just afternoon. It's Barbara, the East Coast Dragon Lady, coming to you on Sunday. A bit more put together than yesterday. I did a very impromptu, vulnerable post. I've been doing some inner child work, and I really wanted to share what came up for me. I slept incredibly well for me. I'm at that age where, if you sleep all night, then you're doing well. I actually slept until like 9 o'clock, which is unheard of for me. But I obviously needed that restful sleep. I really feel much lighter. My heart feels lighter. And I think that was one of the many layers that I now have to let go of. So I wanted to come and do some cards for the week. And also there was something else. And talk about, as I mentioned, I have started to do the QHHT, which is Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique, which is Dolores Cannon's past life regression with healing in there. And as I mentioned yesterday, I've really not followed Dolores Cannon, and I realized that I had thought about Dolores as somebody who spoke to the other side, not realizing the work that she's done. So I'm like eating it up. I realize now, again, like often happens, all the things that I've been guided to. And about 2 years ago, I was hearing I needed to work with the soul. I need to understand my soul. And as I've been going down, we never go a straight path over here and over here. And as things have been revealed to me, I realize this is sort of, I want to say it's the end of the path. I think this is something I need to branch out into because inevitably I've got to remember my age. At some point, I'm going to give up full-time work. I'm still working full-time. I'm not ready to walk away from my full-time job because I've been looking for what's next. So I'm not going to be put out to pasture. I'm going to be one of, I don't know if you've seen, there's a joke that goes around the internet every now and again where there's an old lady skidding in sideways and says, I want to go to wherever I'm going, skidding in, saying, what's the last thing she did? Or, whoa, that was quite a ride. What's next? Because that's me. I like, what's next? I do need to slow down. So, I'm getting all those messages. So it's exciting. It's about a 22.5 hour course. It's in the affordable range. And even if I don't practice this, I really feel I'm going to practice this, but even if I don't, I'm going to learn so much. And they recommend a lot of Dolores Cannon's books, but the one that I did get was by her daughter, Julia Cannon, which is Soul Speaks, The Language of Your Body. It's a bit like, I'll show you, even though it's backwards. Louise Hay has, I've got a pocket book, which is, what are your symptoms, or what part of your body is being affected, what's that? It's like that. It's on my list today of, after I've done this and a couple of other things, to spend a couple of hours reading today. I haven't found sitting down reading a book really easy on me these past few years. I do audio books and things like that, but I really felt this is the book, this is going to be like the thing that I've already looked at it for reference, so what's going on in my body? What does this mean? Because it often is speaking to us. So our soul speaks to us through our symptoms. And she talks a lot about illnesses that we don't need, and our higher selves can heal. So again, it all connected in with me connecting with my higher selves, and all of that work that I've been doing. So it just fell in at the right time and was like, it spoke to me. And that's how every modality I've done is exactly that. My very first, and I may have mentioned this before, so if you know me, I often tell this story that after we moved to this country, I was a nurse, and we didn't know how long we were coming for. We thought that we were just here for a few years, and then recession happened in England. We were offered, my ex-husband was offered a full-time position here, so we stayed because our kids were still young. We thought originally we could come here for a couple of years, that's what we were offered, and go back to England, but it didn't turn out. This was where we were meant to be. So that's how we've been here since 1991 was when I moved here. So I really felt like and that was when I started going down my spiritual path, was once I connected to here. I haven't had any memories of past life here in the United States, but clearly I have. So that was that. So I've forgotten what I was going to say now. That went completely my having said that. So because I couldn't work as a nurse, well, I didn't, and then we decided to stay. Like my nurse's training in England didn't match up to the training required here, which meant I needed to take some classes, and it was just this long drawn out. I couldn't find a way to actually take the classes that I needed so that I could get licensed, because you needed to be licensed to take the classes. So I gave up, and actually some of my friends that were nurses at the time said, you won't like the nursing system here. So even though I was doing some stuff with my kids' school, I ended up going to school and learning. I was an esthetician. I've actually completely forgotten that name and that part of my life, but I was an esthetician, and so I did skincare, and I also had done however many hours it was to be a nail tech. So I did nails and pedicures and skincare. And again, I'm back touching people. And somebody mentioned that one of our teachers was the Reiki master, and that they were going to go to a weekend class to learn Reiki. And I said, I don't know what Reiki is, but I need to do it. And that was the path that I stepped on, of that hands-on healing, learning Reiki, and moving through that. So that started back as early as about 90. It was the mid-90s. It was before I got divorced. So it was probably like 97, 98 is when I stepped on that path. So I've been on that path ever since, but it's zigzagged. There was a big gap in it where I needed to work to earn money. I literally worked 2 jobs for many, many years to get me financially stable. And I was bringing up teenage boys. I needed to get them through those stages. It was all about them, not about me. And it sort of still is. But as you can see, and you've heard me talk about, I'm learning to also take care of me. So that's the path I'm on. And I've been seeing, I looked at a couple of things this morning on YouTube, that there's the things that I'm talking about, other people are talking about. So it's just really, really interesting. I will tell you more as I learn more. I do believe that to do these, we need to do practice sessions, that they can't be done distantly like Reiki can. But I'm still looking to find out, because this course was recorded in about 2014. So that's almost 10 years ago, and we've progressed. There's a lot of reasons that Dolores Cannon talks about. You can't do it via the internet because, this is all before COVID and before we're doing everything virtually, mainly because when you're in a deep state and in a past life, if something happens that you need help, you can't do it from across the other side of the world or through the internet. But I am trying to find that out, and I'm sure they will talk to that as we start ending the course. So I'm about 40% through it. I had a good ramp up. I was doing it at least an hour or so each day for the last couple of weeks, taking this weekend off because I'm doing some of this personal healing, and I'll be back at it next week. So I think that's, other than I was also, the weather here in the Northeast has been unseasonably hot. But I was just listening to Nikki Allen, who's a psychic from England, and she was talking about all of these changes that are happening on the earth and how everything's shifting. So that sort of makes sense. So for some reason, I've got a whole load of oracle decks out here. I don't know why I was drawn to them. So let's start with the Goddess card to see. Let's see. I may not need all of them, but I've got the crows, the I've been using Angel Guide, Oracle Guide by Kyle Gray a bit this week. I like those messages. Lots of, and if you please check out my video from yesterday, because I also talk about all the confirmation I got from the birds and the butterfly that came and confirmed to me that the message I just received was from my mother. I used something called blending, where I brought through my mum through me so that she could give me what I needed to hear. So we've got Hathor. Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. So there we go, Hathor. And this one also came out home, which is Vesta. Your household situation is improving, either through a move or healthy change in the occupants. So interesting for me is I live in a condo, and I just found out that my neighbours next door are moving. So I'm putting good thoughts out about the next people that move in, because in condos you're close together. So I'm putting out good thoughts on that. Oh, this one wants to come out. Expect miracles. So I just said, I'm putting good thoughts out about new neighbours. Expect miracles. So yes, I expect a miracle, but we should all be expecting miracles, right? So this is from Kyle Gray's deck. I love his depiction of angels. I'm sure a lot of people have these decks. I think I have almost all of Kyle Gray's decks. They are a lot heavily based on angels. Oh, here we go. They're flying out now. Oh, two. Divine timing. So, this is from the other day. Divine timing and honesty and communication. So this is interesting, this card, or this one here. This is the amethyst, and I often see this whenever I'm doing DCT. I often see my heart rather like this, as sort of the temple, and that I'm in it. So that's an interesting image for me. And this one feels very interesting, like the portal. So the chakras are portals, which I think we all know that as well. So that's Kyle Gray's. Let's see what the fairies have to say on this. So we've got the Egyptian goddess, expect miracles, honesty and communication. You can't go wrong with honesty, right? So let's see what the fairies want to add to this. So I have a feeling they're all going to come flying out. Stand your ground. This is a frequent one that comes out. So whatever it is, it's been a theme this week about, there's been the no card, there's been the theme of what we need to do, and it's clearly saying stand our ground. Magic of nature. Oh yeah. So the magic of nature, which I certainly had. So I've got a small table here. These are the dragonflies, right? The dragonflies and fairies. And they're saying one more. Kindness. So I think this is kindness to ourselves and kindness to others, but kindness. Let's see the crows. I do love these crow cards. Distraction. I like that. There's the crow distracting the dog so that the other crow can go and eat the dog food. They're clever. I was just drawn to that one on the bottom. So let's see. And wrath. I'm hearing don't piss off crows. Interesting, wrath. So yes, let's find out what that actually means. But I clearly heard when they were like, yep, don't piss off a crow. I actually, when I used to have outdoor cats, one of them must have got one of the babies. I can't remember what birds they were. It was blackbirds, but they had my cat cornered, like these two birds, and they were screeching at the cat. So there's a lot of them do that. Could have been crows. 54. One day I heard the sound of what could have been 100 crows outside my window. The sky was nearly black, with swarms of angry birds dive bombing the tree outside my apartment. A young raccoon had killed a baby crow. The energy in the air was almost palpable. You could feel the anger of the crows, as well as the fear of the raccoon, who clung desperately to the tree for dear life. Wrath creates a powerful energy. It can be destructive and can lead you down a path that may stain or cause friction within relationships. Wrath adds another element to anger, the element of revenge. It is not enough for the offender to know that you are angry. They must also feel or experience that anger in some way. Wrath asks that you consider the energy that you are creating from your anger. It is one that will, in the end, create a positive change in it. Is it one that will, in the end, create a positive change in the relationship, or are you creating resentment that fuels the desire for future revenge? Although it may have been a single event that caused the energy of anger to present itself, it is through wrath that the anger mutates and splinters, creating a breakdown in the relationship and negative emotions. Interesting. You could apply that to many things. You can apply that to today's politics. You can apply that to, like I was feeling yesterday, or what I heard yesterday was the feeling of if you haven't let go somebody, then they can't themselves. So that was what my mother was saying to me, that she needed me to let her go. Because I was the last person that was holding her from moving on the other side. And I think that speaks to people that are still here as well. And we can often be angry with people that have left us too early, angry because they left before we got answers. I mean, angry for so many reasons. Over the years, I've realized that I've let that anger go. In part because I'd also learned to shut down my heart. But I think there's a lot of lessons from this, just this one card about wrath and what it does to us. And I'm really being guided to what does it do to us inside when we don't let those things go. Because the past, this is what I'm hearing, the past is the past. We can't go back. We can't go back and change that. The only thing we can change is what's happening right now, in this moment. And is there a past? So now I'm getting questions. Is there a past? Is there a future? Or is it all just happening now? All right, so thank you. They're the dragons given me. The dragons have been very interesting. I've had a few of my funny ones. We also completed Dragon Thunder last weekend, so I wasn't here last week. Because of Dragon Thunder, and I had, what are they saying? They're saying there was a cacophony. Again, they're giving me these names. A cacophony of dragons. They were all behind me, and it was like they was I was in the middle of the arena, is how they're showing me, and they were all stacked behind me. I'm going to have to look up the word cacophony, because I think there's a cacophony of birds, but they were saying it's a cacophony of dragons that all came to watch. They certainly came to watch and see what we were experiencing. And I was getting thumbs up, thumbs down. I was getting no. Very clearly they were going no, 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 no. So I got lots and lots of no's from them. Again, interesting, because how we perceive what is being given is what they're telling me. So again, I've got the cacophony of dragons. I also have a papal pod. So they love to throw out these names, right? So updating on my papal, my Vatican dragons, they've been using the term papal. So even yesterday when I was out walking and these dragons were in the sky, they were going, there's another papal pod up here, and it looked like an arrow to me. So it's like pointing to the sky. I had beautiful dragons above me while I was doing my inner child releasing, right by the sun. They were there watching me and guiding me. What they share with me is that we all have guardian angels. We also all have guardian dragons. And my guardian dragons have stepped forward. They've also lifted me up and put me on this path. And they've said, it's not that I don't need the dragons, but I need to go in a different direction, that they're always behind me. And that's what they've shown me for quite a time now, lifting me up and putting me on a path and going, go in that direction. We're behind you. We're behind you. So again, I'm sure yesterday they kept coming up with one-liners all the time, because they want us to be lighthearted. They don't want all the seriousness. They want us to be light of heart, is what they're saying. Okay, so right, they're saying now pick some cards from the dragons. The cacophony. I love the words that come up, which makes me like have to look a bit for, like, when they kept telling me they were pods, and I'd only really thought about dolphins and whales being in pods, and they were like, we can be pods as well. And when there's a lot of us, we're pods. So yes, they're very chatty today as well. I am going to go for a walk. We've got some thunderstorm warnings, but I'm quite near, it used to be a farm, but there's open land to the right of me, and I keep getting drawn to go over there. I used to take the dogs, I say dogs because I've had other dogs, for a walk over there, but it often is, in the summer, was full of ticks. But that's where I'm going after I've done this. Maybe lunch and then go for a walk, and then I'm going to sit and read My Soul Speaks, the language of your body, because we really do need to tune into our body a whole lot more. All right. The guardian angel dragon. So again, I talked about angels. So the angels and dragons are with us, and we're not alone. So they're just confirming. And this is what I've realized with my deck. It's a lot of confirmation. The fire dragons, they've been around because they're burning up, as I said this week. The fire's been there to burn up all of the negative energy that we're shedding, all of what we're letting go from our soul. The fire dragons are there to just eat that up. The star dragon ancestors, because I was talking about ancestors, follow your soul's message. So they're guiding you to listen to your soul. And again, the guardian earth dragon, stay grounded and put your roots down. So as I said yesterday, I can't say that enough. If it's the one basic thing that you do every day, is to put your roots down. So from the dragons, we've got the guardian angel dragons, you're not alone. Fire dragons are burning up all of the negative energy. The star dragons are bringing in our ancestors to follow your soul's message. and the guardian earth dragon to ground ourselves. So I think that's a good way to end. I'm almost at 30 minutes. Is there any others that want, unicorns. Okay, so unicorns want to say something. So we'll end with a couple of unicorn cards. These are Diana Cooper's from a very long time ago, early 2000, I believe. And she has a whole, I don't have too many of Diana Cooper's cards, but I did find these unicorns when the unicorns started to talk to me. Oh, soul's purpose. So they're just confirming again. They're confirming for me, but they're confirming for you. Act on your soul's purpose today. So if that's just for me, it's for other people as well. Soul satisfaction. Now, I can't make this stuff up. Soul satisfaction. Aim for that which makes your soul rejoice. I love this when you get confirmation. And the last one is openings. A new door is opening for you. So a new door is opening. So when one door closes, another one opens. So know that there is never a closed door, is what they're telling me. They're saying there is no such thing as a closed door, because as this one closes, another one opens. Another portal, if a portal closes to you, another portal opens. It's interesting they give me that analogy. They're telling me that there are going to be many new portals opening. So this is from the unicorns. They're saying we're bringing your awareness to not just doors, but to, it's interesting, I've got a card in here. Don't know why it is stuck in this book, but let's see. Manifestation. Focus on a vision beyond yourself and your unicorn will help you. So I think that was the message that they wanted. It was stuck in the book, you know how oracle decks come. See, this is how it is. This is in black and white. And a lot of Diana Cooper's things are in colour now. I wonder if it tells me when this was published. Oh, 2008. So yeah, Diana's come a long way as well. So yeah, so they're saying that none of this will be a surprise to a lot of us, but there are more portals opening. That portals are like our chakras. They're saying that portals also get overused, so they have to shut down to regenerate, which we often have to do, like we need regeneration, and that new portals will be appearing. So we've done the 7-7 portals, so there's the 8-8, which is Lionsgate. That was always, for me, when I think last year it started, that every new portal that opened for me, I felt a shift, and it was at Lionsgate. So that's in August, so that's 8-8, so that's a couple of weeks away. I think this is what we're going to see happening. They're saying there will be stars shutting down, there will be portals shutting down, but new ones will be opening, and they will be different colors, they will be different sizes, but these are all because new energy is coming in. Oh, interesting. So new energy, they're showing me, when they show me energy coming in, they often show me planets, galaxies, star systems, all of that. And then this new, it's even going to be a new wave of dragons, a new wave of dragon energy, higher frequency angels, higher frequency upgrades are coming in through the new portals, and they will look different. There'll be different colors. I just listened again to Nikki Allen talk about, she goes on her walks, and she was talking about the Rainbow Bridge, and just realizing that the Rainbow Bridge for animals is all the rays of all the archangels. And as you know, I've talked a lot about rainbows in the clouds. And they're saying we will see more of those as confirmation of a new wave of energy, a new color palette is coming in, and we will see that. You just need to look into, they're saying just look up, look up. Oh, interesting. So I wasn't expecting that information. I never am. That's the nice thing about connecting with, sometimes when you haven't connected with an energy like the unicorns for a while. But that's beautiful. And they're showing me these portals that look like going deep into amethyst. And they're showing me it's got like red and the magentas all going into this like beautiful, it's like a tunnel. So it's a portal, but it's also a tunnel. I've been taking down a few of those before, but it's almost like we're going into a cave. And this, and as we know with these high frequency crystals, that's how they've just referred to amethyst, is a high frequency crystal. It's emanating this beautiful, see, I've got amethyst on here today. It's emanating energy out from the portal as well as in, and it is going to be bringing us these most beautiful vibrant colors. They're saying it's going to uplift our spirits. It's going to bring in a different wave of energy. It's bringing in a new wave of children, a new wave of crystals. The crystals are going to be much more high frequency. All those things that are of the earth or of nature, of the moon, the sun, and the stars. They love saying that. And when it's huge, they say it's like the moon, the sun, and the stars. Huge. This is going to be a shift. We're shifting again as we are elevating our energies. We are dropping off parts of us that we don't need, and this is elevating us. So be on the lookout for those beautiful colors. They're saying you'll see them at sunset, at sunrise. And those of you that have, they're showing me drones that take beautiful pictures. You're going to see those shimmers close to the water. And as the sun goes down, these colors will come up. That's what they're showing me. Beautiful. I love when I get these things that I'm not asking for, and I don't, and you've heard me say this before, that I ask the dragons, why do I connect so easily? I mean, it's almost like when that message came in, that actually came in from behind me, if you're interested. So it's sort of how I know. Dragons often come in from this side of me, but this energy came from back here, which is where our connection to our soul, yeah, so it's the galactic. That's what they're telling me. So the message came from the galactics, even though they talk through the unicorns. So it was a galactic message. So I hope that has spoken to something for you today. And I am in a better space. I am going to do some more letter writing. I don't feel the urgency, but I know that now I've let that bit in my heart go, there's another part that needs to go. Even though my heart is doing so much better than it has over the years, I feel like there's this little piece again that's left. They're saying even though I've cut the cords, I've severed the cords, both ends, there's still a little piece left, and I need to give that back to that person. I know who that is. Okay, so I hope you have a good week. If anything comes up that I want to share, if those Vatican dragons start talking to me again, it's hit and miss with them, because when they're ready they give me another chunk. I did have a dream, actually, having said that. I had a dream about the Vatican, and again beneath the Vatican, they're just reminding me. It was to do with water. Okay, so it'll come to me. I'll ask them to remind me again, but it was something to do with water below the Vatican. All right, so have a good week, and I will be back soon, and thank you.